Crayons make it pretty. What am I doing? I'm melting crayons on a canvas to make cool artwork. Why am I doing this? Because I like art and I like expressing myself through art, and I like finding new forms of art to express myself through. Supplies. You will need crayons of desired color. I needed blue and gray for this one, and you'll see why later. They're such depressing colors. Blue and gray crayons. A canvas. You can find that really at any craft store. Crayons you can find really anywhere. And they have to be Crayola crayons, and I'll say why later. You need a hair dryer to melt the crayons with. Hot glue gun so the crayons stick on the canvas. Newspaper, because when you're melting crayons, bits fly everywhere. X-Acto knife. You could use scissors, but it's more precise to cut out the shape that you want to melt around. Cardboard to cut the shape out of. Glue to glue it on the canvas so the crayons melt around it. Black paint so you can paint the silhouette of the object, and paintbrush to paint with. Why Crayola? This is rose art crayons, left in the sun for 12 hours. Crayola crayons, left in the sun for 3.5 hours. Yeah. Step 1, hot glue the crayons on the canvas in the order that you want them, in a row on the top. Step 2, cut out the cardboard shape that you want to melt around. Step 3, this is kind of hard to see, but glue the cardboard shape on the canvas and outline it with a pencil. I glued my cardboard shape on the canvas there. Put down newspaper where you're going to be melting, or else your parents are going to be mad. Prop it up so the crayons can melt down the canvas. So you want to make it wall, floor, and canvas, so it makes a triangle of life. Now you want to melt the crayons with the hair dryer, focusing the heat on the tips so it melts. And here's like just as I start melting, and this is when it starts melting, and yeah, it's melting. Then once you reach the desired drippiness, if that's even a word, then you turn the hair dryer off. And then if there are any drippings in the wrong place, like I was doing something with an umbrella and rain doesn't go under umbrellas, so I had to take off this one and this because it was just blobbing at her feet. And then let it cool off. And then you take the cardboard shape off, take this off, and redo the outline. You might want to redo the outline before you take it off, because then you get a good outline. Now you very carefully paint the outside of the outline, and then you paint the inside. And you have cool artwork-y stuff. Whatcha?
Oh wow. Can you walk around like that?
And you don't put it in indirect or direct sunlight, because then the crayons will melt again. That's bad. And I have the cardboard shape, cardboard cutout, has many drippings on it. When I was gluing it on the canvas, I used repositionable glue. It doesn't like glue it on there like forever, but you want to have the crayons melt around it. You don't want to have the crayons go behind that. I did that once and that was not good. Don't use tape. It doesn't work.
sort of like direct the Crayola like water or like mixture or whatever, so that it's like you can sort of control where it all goes?
That could be possible. Yeah.
Did you have issues directing it? Like, instead of it just going down, did it splatter? Did it drip
Yeah.
nicely? Did you?
No, it did not drip nicely. It was like, I have a whole bunch of crayon on the back of the canvas and no idea how that got there. It did not go where I wanted it to go, but that's why there's the step where you scrape off all the stuff that you don't want. Like some of these crayons, they just melted out to the side and they barely got any on the canvas. That's not good.
Why'd you keep the paper on? No, because I would just I would just take the paper off automatically. I don't know. What, did the paper stay okay? It stayed on there. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, also when you're hot gluing the crayons on, if it doesn't have a wrapper, and I tried this once, if it doesn't have a wrapper, then it just melts the crayon, and the crayon will not stick to the canvas. So you kind of want to keep the wrappers on.
Any other questions? You should display that, Cindy, like keep it in class.